All right, all right, all right. We are live. We are live. We are tired.
Yeah, I'm
Little.
drinking some tea.
I'm not even drink. I'm drinking a calming drink.
What is it? Some kind of
It's like a.
anxiety tea.
It's like it's a powder with some vitamins and it's a calming boost supposedly. But I want to go to bed.
Okay, well, we can make this quick
Yeah.
because I'll tell you what. Um, for me, I know like you think you may find the show getting interesting. You always spin. I don't know what that is on my end. You do a little wheelie, your screen goes off a minute, and you do a
Really?
little squiggly. Yeah, but um, I see very weak booking, and because
I agree.
because it's overseas, they're not used to seeing ass clowns, but we are, right? So
How
are you buying
how
into it?
Well, let me ask you this. You said the key thing right there. They're overseas. How fucking amazing is that crowd?
Listen, they're buying an arm drag. They're cheering on anything, and it shows there's an audience there for them to succeed with. It's
Yeah,
easy. They having a hard time, like you checked the last time, at $15,000 a seat. They better pull a magic act that's going to be like better than Copperfield with that she. What was her name? Schiffer, the French beauty model that disappeared once he got his hands on her. But anyway,
Oh, I don't know.
Claudia Schiffer, I think her name was. She
Oh,
was
oh.
gorgeous supermodel. He hooked up with her, and all of a sudden, he hit her from the people. That's a magic act right there.
There
Make her
you go.
disappear.
So, all right. Well, let's. The show kicked off and started tonight with honestly, I thought was the high point of the show. I thought it was all downhill from there. The opening segment, which was like a 35-minute segment of John Cena, and John Cena came out to a massive amount of booze and you sold out and John Cena sucks chants and fuck you Cena chants that they were censoring, which I don't I think he did his entrance, got in the ring, and didn't even utter the first syllable. It was till like the 7 or 8 minute mark of him being out there.
Okay. I don't know if you're hearing with the right side of your brain or with the left side of your brain, because what I heard was one crowd saying Cena sucks, and the other half of the crowd saying that they loved him. Like all the time, you get half the crowd buying one thing. You seen the audience; they had his shirts on,
They did.
so obviously he still has fans. It took what he felt was a super promo, but in the days of promos, he's definitely not what Ric Flair was. He's not any one of the four horsemen cutting a promo, that's for sure. Tully Blanchard would embarrass him on the mic, what I think. He's weak. He's weak. He's trying to hit I think he's trying too hard to be a heel, and for me, like a heel, you know, you either have it or you don't as a heel, and I'm not buying it. I'm sorry. You might think it's over because it's overseas.
Yeah.
Yeah, but do you think it would be over in the ticket sales say otherwise.
I almost felt like too he didn't know how to handle it. Like because he's not used to being booed, hasn't really been booed like that in probably any moment in his career, and his first reaction on his face, I felt he was kind of almost scared, like he didn't know how to take it or which way he was almost going to go with it. I think he was really thrown off initially.
Listen, when it comes to heel turns in history, I have to give props to someone who I totally despise and am disgusted with, and that would be the American sellout, Hulk Hogan, with that weak Budweiser light beer repackaged and rebranded by Anheuser-Busch, believe it or not. But that's my opinion. When he turned heel, you know, there was everything thrown in that ring. You seen it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was a heel turn. And as far you say he didn't know how to handle it, I think he believes that he did great. When he went backstage, I'm telling you this, he was back here congratulating himself. He was looking in the mirror. He was saying, yeah, man. You know what's funny? If he would have took off that hat, do you think they would have said John Cena's bald?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
His ego won't allow that, but his ego in the mirror says, "I did great. I did great." I'll tell you this though, as far as the promo went, he did a lot better than The Rock. When I see The Rock cutting promos, I laugh. I really do. And the longer it takes, the more it proves that Mick Foley should have just continuously beat on him and beat on him and beat on him and beat on him. Yeah, but that's my thoughts on a 30-minute commercial for let's try to sell this as best as we could. Let's insult the kids. Let's insult the kids so they all cry.
They showed that one poor kid. He looked like he was going to lose it.
Listen, that's like, it's like when Mick Foley used to go out, man. I used to love it. He would mention the town, and they would go crazy. You know what I mean? It's cheap heat, man. It's a cheap pop, and that's all he is. He's a cheap bottom for The Rock's top.
How did you think Cody did? I mean, Cody was over as fuck.
Like I told you, he's the American politician.
Yeah,
he's the politician of the wrestling world. I still believe that what he's doing, let's say he has 5 more years of this, because but then the wrestling career, you got 5 years to make it for real, and if you get a longevity past that, you're one of the few to proud, the Ric Flairs. And the business doesn't hold in the WWE a longevity like that, not unless it's look, they buried Bruno Sammartino. They don't even bring him up as the longest. In all reality, he is the longest reigning champion that they ever had. Roman Reigns sure did, and they make a big deal. Oh, he held it 1,500. Yeah, and how many times did he defend it? Once a month. Yeah. You know what I'm saying. So, so what's next, brother, on your agenda?
Let me pop some comments real quick on here. Our good friend, Mr. Gianni Martello, he says, "Good evening, brothers. I'm tired also, but ready for this." And Johnny, I just sent Bay the picture. You were talking about this afternoon. I'll have it for you in Philly, bro. Yeah, I don't think I've seen that picture. You and Larry with the belts.
Yeah, man,
it's a really nice picture.
It's a black and white.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man, I love the picture, man. I
yeah,
was
it's
like,
awesome.
I don't even remember these things. You know, I seen a match on YouTube. Erica just wanted to see, like, I guess what, 30 years, 35 years ago, when Johnny HotBody was an asshole, what he was about. She's seen a match. Tony and I think the letters on the apron were GWA,
Okay.
and I'm in you know tight, not regular clothes, and me and Tony went at it, and it's probably one of the best matches that you know. But yeah, I didn't even remember the match. It's
Wow.
funny.
Gianni says the first segment was awesome. I'll tell you what, I thought it was a great way to start the show, and I felt like it was the peak of the show. I thought it was all downhill after that.
I'm glad that they didn't do Yeet at the beginning of the show for 35 minutes. That's for sure.
I'll tell you what, the Yeet is running out of steam quick, I feel.
I've been telling you this for a while,
I
man. It's
know,
like
I
the
know.
yes, it's like the yes movement with Brian Danielson and so many of the other things, the oh yes and the Watts, with Steve stuff. It's like, come on, can we move along with all this, taglines and hashtag movement? That's what it's about.
Michelle Stern's in the house. She says, "Hey guys, Cena is a moron. Can't wait for him to be done. Johnny is right again."
No. Well, thank you, and good evening. I see this is a regular crowd that we're building.
Absolutely, absolutely. Gianni says, "Gotta love the cheap pop, Johnny, right here on Breaking Raw."
Yeah, truth.
And Bruno held it for 11 and a half years. Yeah, like, how could you not acknowledge that? It's ridiculous.
It's easy. It's it's acknowledging that back then the product was a lot better than what it is today, and you can't do that and expect to push the garbage that you're pushing today, and reflecting on Bruno Sammartino, Pedro Morales, Stan the Man Stasiak, the Wild Samoans,
Mhm.
the Moondogs. The list goes on and on of real true greats. They did do something. They worked their asses off. They worked hard. The ring was harder. The performances were more full contact. The shit they show today with the camera, it's weak.
Mm.
It's weak. It looks like acrobatics. You know what it is? Do you remember Dave McClain?
Dave McLean.
Yeah, man. The glow. We used to do a thing from the phone booth. Did you
Yeah,
ever?
yeah. Is that what
Well,
his name was? Was it David McLean? I guess it was. Okay.
I believe his name was Dave McClain. Listen, man, he used to do Chumpy in the phone
Yeah,
booth,
yeah,
and
yeah.
and the girls' performances. You were watching, but you knew what you were getting. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
was weak, and But that's not saying that the girls that work in the WE right now, they perform 10 times better than most of the men,
I
and
agree.
it's crazy.
Well, next up we had Ludwig Kaiser taking on Penta again in a no holds barred match. And I'll tell you what, I when Penta comes out, I'm like, yes. And then he gets in the ring and he completely loses me. Like, I don't feel like he puts together. It doesn't matter who I've seen him with. You know what? His debut was the best match I think he's had with Chad Gable. Otherwise, these matches with Pete Dunne, Ludwig Kaiser, whoever else, they just have not really been good matches. There was a couple nice chair shots in there tonight, but that was it. It was nothing really like wow.
Well, what kind of matches you're getting there are, first of all, I think Ludwig Kaiser is a great talent.
Yeah, I do too. I've
If
seen
they
him
use
have
if they use
tremendous matches.
if yes, and if they use him the right way, his potential probably outshines a lot of the guys that they are pushing right now, which is it befuddles me. How you like that?
That's a beautiful word.
But
That's a
seriously,
399 word right there.
but I would like, I was talking to Mrs. HotBody, and I said, what would be a phenomenal move for them to do with this Kaiser kid? Let's say, for some reason, you believe that Gunther's going to drop the title to Yeet, which I don't think they're going to do. It's a swerve. It's the most big.
There's still a lot of time. Yeah.
It's a big swerve, man. They test the waters. They see how far they can get with it, and it's like L.A. Knight. They give him a test too, and now, and where is he now? They give him a title, and you don't even see him. But anyway, yeah, I would like to see Ludwig with Gunther, man, as a tag team. I think it would be a great tag team.
Weren't they together at some point as something?
They came out together, but they weren't pushing them ever as a tag team. It was always, for some reason, they were. There was another one associated with. I can't remember the kid's name, like Giovanni Da Vinci or whatever. Okay. But they never pushed Gunther and Kaiser as a tag team, which I think, if they were to take the title off of Gunther, that would be a great move to improve.
I agree for both of them.
To improve the tag team, because quite seriously, I think the tag team division needs to be pushed more like the titles. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Make it more exciting. You could have a lot more action going on. But I can't give away what I would do all the time. Yeah, but Penta losing steam. Yeah, the fire's out on him already. The hand signals are worthless. He wears a big 0 on his back when you would think he would wear a number 1. 0. That tells you how much they're going to push him.
But the whole when he does the hand movement, that gets a bigger pop than when he does a move in the match.
Well, so does Yeet doing that. And let me ask you something. What's this? What is that? That thing he does besides the Yeet? I don't know. He makes this grunting noise. What is that? Oh, what is this? This dude must have been kicked in the face too many times as a kid.
I'll tell you what. Since you brought it up, I'll say it now. I saw the clips, the highlights of SmackDown the other night, and I feel Jimmy Uso is a much better person on the mic than Jay. You can at least it made sense when he was talking, and it flowed a lot nicer.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe they're pushing the wrong brother. Could that? You know what? It's another thing that upsets me about those two guys. Well, no, just in general, it upsets me. Their father, what's his name? Rikishi.
Yeah.
His sons have jobs.
Mm-hmm.
They're more fortunate than most.
Sure.
Why is he always running his mouth? He doesn't like the way his sons are being used. Here's their push, and then what? Yeah, it doesn't make sense why he would complain, because if anything, you could piss someone off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could piss someone off, and all of a sudden you find yourself being on the end of the short end of the stick. There goes that fickle finger of fate poking you in the dark alley, man, where you don't want to be poked. You upset the people, you don't work, you get blackballed.
If you think about it,
yes.
Jay and Jimmy both have nice pushes going on. But the other son, the brother, which I don't know if people even realize this, Solo Sikoa is their brother, and his push is like he's like non-existent now.
Well, they was what was his true ability besides taping his thumb?
That's it.
You know, there you go again. You're lucky to be employed
Hmm.
because your family's somewhat association. You're making more money in a year than most wrestlers made in 10 years,
Hmm.
and were 100 times better workers, worked more, and it was a harder time back then. You were on the road. You didn't go home for Christmas. You didn't
Yeah.
go home for your kid's birthday. You missed your children growing up. Today they get a butterfly stitch on their nutsack, and all of a sudden you don't see them for 5 years.
All right, so next up we had we had Dakota Kai taking on Ivy Nile, and again a match like,
Does it really matter? We got to see Dakota Kai.
hey, you know what?
Hey,
She
yeah,
she's one too to me, who
yes.
I felt had more steam, and I don't. Her matches have just not done anything for me lately. And again, it's it's look who they're putting her in there with. I don't. Ivy Nile is nothing to me.
I totally agree with you there. Check this one out. Uh, I, what's it, Ivy Nile?
Yeah,
I see her as weak, very,
yeah,
very, very, very weak. I don't care who she's in the ring with. And there goes that question again. When we question the talents of Nia Jax, and we have the unnatural presence of one Ivy Nile, and she's not the only one.
no,
She's
no.
definitely not the only one.
There's a good handful of them.
Yeah, there's a real big handful, you know. But I guess it's easy to pick on Nia.
Mm.
Yeah. I'm not saying she's great now, Bay. I'm not putting her ahead of the class of talents. She's far from the capabilities of Becky Lynch, or even that cutie. What's her name? The new. Oh my
Liv
God,
Morgan.
Liv Morgan. But I wasn't speaking about Liv Morgan. The blonde that's the champion. She was the Olympic.
Oh,
What's her name?
oh, she was Olympic.
Yeah, man. She's a
Who?
gymnast on SmackDown.
Tiffy?
Tiffy, yeah, Tiffy,
Tiffy
yeah,
time?
yeah. I
Or
think she's another one with a great talent.
or Stiffy time, as the signs have been being held up?
It's funny. She keeps having wardrobe malfunctions, and then my favorite. God. See, I'm having a problem with the show tonight, man. In my memory, there. Pass. Let me just go on.
All right. Well, Dakota and Ivy at ringside was her American-made Creed brothers, and then later Chad Gable came out, which then brought out LWO, which they didn't interfere in the match, but they chased um, the Creed brothers and Gable away, and which then in turn Dakota got the win. Blah blah blah. Schmaz blah, ha.
You
Match.
lost it, right? Well, I
Yeah.
was entertained by it. Not so much the Dakota, watching Dakota perform. She's to me, I like her. I like watching her.
I do.
I think she's definitely a talent. But to get the angle over, she has to do whatever she has to do. I don't think she could say I disagree and not get TV time. That would be foolish. But as far as this American Creed tag team and I think they're really good. I think
I do too.
They're really starting to advance, and I think they need to separate themselves from Ivy Dirtbag.
Agreed. Yeah. Agreed. And okay, you mentioned a team that you would put together. Imagine the matches you would get with those Creed brothers against Kaiser and Gunther.
Powerful.
Oh yeah.
Powerful position on the the WrestleMania card.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of matches that could be on that WrestleMania card that would be 10 times better than what they're trying to tell you is going to be the main event. That's but go ahead.
All right. So which I'm trying to read my freaking notes. I was like scribbling shit. As I'm watching the opening segment, my Netflix on my TV in my living room died. It kept freezing. Kept saying restart your box, restart your box. I kept doing that. Then my TV stopped working. And then I was like, all right, into the bedroom. So we go in the bedroom, and my remote in the bedroom is like busted, stopped working. I'm taping it together, trying to get it to work. Doesn't work. I go back out to the living room. I get the TV to come back on. We sit down to start watching it. Does it again. It says restart your box. I'm like, fuck this, to the laptop. So after a half hour trying to get it to work, that's why it took me so long. So anyway, so then we had the contract signing, Io Sky versus Bianca Belair, and I was enjoying the contract signing, and I'm saying to myself, how do we have a contract signing in the ring and we're not having no fisticuffs, no nothing, and then all of a sudden the music hits and here comes Rhea. I was like, here we go.
Yeah. Sometimes, let me tell you something. I dread some nights watching WWE, but Rhea, for some reason, I think she makes it worthwhile to watch. I really like her. You and a big handful of guys like Liv Morgan, and you like Alexa Bliss, and you find all these other girls to be so cute, attractive. I don't know. I don't even know why anybody would think that. Charlotte Flair, what a joke. Oh my God. I think her face should be on a pill bottle with bones underneath of it. Remember, they're poison. Yeah. But yeah, I like Rhea Ripley. Yeah. But
I'll tell you what.
I'm sorry.
No.
I went that direction.
After so Rhea comes in, gets involved, ends up slamming Io onto the table and putting Bianca on top of her, and then grabs the contract and signs it and steals the contract and leaves. And then she gets in a thing backstage with Adam Pearce. I said to myself,
yes,
I really think this is going to be one of the best matches at WrestleMania. Is this three-way?
You want to know something? Wow, the way you just said three-way, I had an imagine. But anyway, wait a minute. You know what I would have liked to have seen? Seriously, what's his name again? Adam Pearce.
Go ahead. I'm glad you brought him up because he's on my notes.
I would have loved to see Rhea give him that headbutt to the face.
Yeah,
that would have been so. Listen, if Johnny is writing and he's directing the direction for this, Adam Pearce would have been put out by Rhea right there, and this would guarantee that that match would be the main event on a lot of people's TV that night. It might even sell tickets more than the John Cena Hair Club for Men, Bosley Research Lab. Yeah, go ahead.
How annoying is
Yes.
Adam Pearce?
You know, I don't know where they found him. I really don't. They say he wrestled. I don't know what trash bags outside. I really find it hard to believe that he's being shoved on TV. Yeah.
I mean, all he does every week is come out and holler, "Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!" Like, yeah, I don't know.
Some people have jobs because of their knees.
On that note, let's go back to the comments. Let me see. Michelle says, Tully and Arn did amazing promos. These guys today need to study them before they cut a promo.
Absolutely. I've wrestled those two. I was at the WE as they were the Brain Busters, and yeah, man, I was in the ring with those two guys, and awesome guys.
Is there any of those matches anywhere? Have you seen any of those? Any of the like you and Undertaker, or you and Ultimate Warrior?
Listen, my man. I was so turned off by wrestling. I erased a lot of those memories, but I do have a picture of me in being held by Iron Anderson, and Tully Blanchard is coming off the top. He sits on the top and jumps off the second part of the rope to do the pile driver. I took the pin. I think my tag team partner may have been Dusty Wolf or George South. Yeah, bro, man. I even wrestled the Powers of Pain.
Damn.
And I wrestled the Bushwhackers. Yeah, bro. Yeah, I took that. Yeah, they did that move to me. I also wrestled Demolition. Haha. Yeah, Bill Eadie. Yeah, bro. Those were the days. Yeah.
Gianni says, I totally agree. They are pushing the wrong brother, and he's talking about the Usos.
Yes.
He says, Ivy is married to Cena's original trainer, and that's who she was trained by also. Okay.
You know who Ivy reminds me of? You're going to laugh. Neidhart's daughter. What's her name?
Natty Neidhart?
Natalie Neidhart, her husband.
Now, who was her husband?
TJ. So I forget his name, but she looks just like him. It looks like their brother and sister, just like Mickey James. Tell me Mickey James doesn't resemble the Hardy brothers. They look like their brother and sister.
Yeah, I can see that.
The one that always yelled delete, delete, delete.
Yeah.
You put a dress on him, he's Mickey James. These are my opinions. It's all hyperbole.
How about the table botch during the contract signing by it not breaking?
Yeah. They're making the tables a lot stronger. It's a little bit better that way.
Well,
because when you expect a table to break week after week after week, come on, man, it's old. It's redundant. You know what I think of when I keep seeing these tables breaking for real? The guys that stole your gimmick. Who came up with that idea? The Penguin? Anytime you see a table being used, the Penguin wrote that segment.
Gianni says Adam Pearce is the former NWA champion and he's from Ring of Honor.
He was a champion. you would definitely expect better performance as a baby face if he was a champion. And I don't know, but I'll tell you what, that who's the other manager for SmackDown?
Nick Aldis.
Now that's a dude I want to see wrestle.
That's Mickey James' husband.
Yeah, I get that. I get that, and I think he was a hell
But
of
he seems more believable in his role.
Listen, he was a hell of a champion, hell of a wrestler. I would love to have seen him wrestle John Cena.
Okay. Rhea could have given Adam a headbutt and a riptide.
it would be over.
That's funny. All right, so we are now up to we had a Judgment Day promo where Dirty Dom was suggesting who he thinks the newest member should be, and he was saying it should be Penta, which led to Finn Balor getting upset because Penta had just mentioned he plans to go for the Intercontinental title.
I love the part when Carlito said to Tom, "Don't you watch the show?" And you asked me why they have Carlito there. That right there is the reason why Carlito is there. He's definitely worth the money.
Funny.
Here, do you see? For the first time, I hate to admit this. For the first time tonight, I actually thought Finn Balor was going to win, and I would have been happy.
I honestly, I agree.
I cannot. Okay, you have all this talent, and I said this before. What the WWE is missing is a manager that could help guys that need help. It's like the ball and chain. You need that for Badass Breaker or Breaking Wind. Erica came up with that name. She calls him Breaking Wind because every time he gets in the ring, she smells the farts of angels. Yeah. Well, I don't get him. He's lackluster. People used to say that the Ultimate Warrior had that same ability to put you to sleep once he came to the ring. I disagree. I don't think he's in the league of any of the former champions that have held that title in the past. I think it puts a bad stigma on the title.
Well, you jumped ahead, so let's. Do you want to talk about that match now and then go back?
What? How did I jump ahead? I'm sorry.
You skipped half the show.
Listen, you got to remember, I got concussions, man. Come on, let's go. What did I skip?
All right, come on, you skipped this.
Oh, come on, man. All right, listen, I'll let everybody know before you go and say anything, and don't go past this part. All right. I mean, I text over the weekend. I had to text Chubby the word yeet. And that's about as close to it as you'll get. But anyway,
hey, I'm going to say this, and I didn't want to say this earlier on the Hannibal show that we did, but if people have not heard, we got the 1,000 signatures completed over this past weekend, and when I sent a text to both Johnny and Tony together to let them know that it was a done deal, we're going to raise the banner. Johnny was, he was very emotional. No, come on. Come on.
No. There's something breaking up. You're not coming across it. YouTube's having a problem here. You're spinning. Let's forget that part. But check this out.
Something in my eye.
Please say we're going to drop the banner. Listen, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Is this? I hope this banner shadows everyone whose name is up there right now.
Huh.
I would like it to cover every single one of those names because they never ever deserved to be there before us. And that's not an ego speaking, that's the truth. It was my arena. I'm not trying to sound sour grapes. It was my arena. How dare those dirty, no good. And you know what's crazy? Every single time they did it, they let me, hey, yo, you see, yo, dirtbags, man. I have a question for you. Not that this matters.
Okay.
When you look at those 1,000 names that signed the petition,
Hmm.
which I am totally grateful for, I would like to know how many of them were actually professional wrestlers, guys that were in the business, or
That's a
what? Or I would really be willing to guess maybe 30 out of 1,000.
I was gonna. I'll say, and I'm probably shooting high. I was gonna say maybe 8 to 10%.
That's low.
No, I'm I'm
I
I'm
I
I'm
I, I
I'm
I
saying
mean,
80 to 100 signatures possibly were people in the business.
uh, okay, okay, that's huh, huh. All right, let's move on.
All right, so yeah, so we had the Jey Uso versus Austin Theory match, which was a 10-second match. I didn't, I think partially, I don't know if that was their original plan, but partially I think because of the crowd drawing out every single thing with their singing and their chants and all that, that they cut that short just to have Gunther run in and do his shtick and build up for WrestleMania because that the interaction between Gunther and Yeet was longer than the Austin Theory match.
That's what happens when you have a long-winded opening promo.
Exactly.
Lots
Exactly.
of lots of deserving matches get cut short all the time. You know, not like Yeet deserves any time at all, not unless it's in a penitentiary. But as far as Austin Theory goes, I am totally convinced at this point that I call it the Johnny HotBody effect. That's what I think Austin Theory's going through. See, Austin Theory was Vince McMahon's boy, and since Vince McMahon is gone, Vince McMahon's boy is going to take the whooping from the creative, and that's my theory, and that's my theory on that one.
Hmm. I just saw a picture earlier, about an hour ago, of Vince McMahon was somewhere tonight. I think at a basketball game.
Listen, I know Vince McMahon has his issues in life. Who doesn't? Do we judge? Are we to judge everyone who gets some kind of bad publicity? And are we better than those? The skeletons in the closets when they fall out. A lot of people that point fingers, and it's just my. Here's my thing, man. Vince McMahon was such a um, he's such a great promoter in the business that taking him out and thinking that you're going to do something better than him, it's funny. It's like Joel Goodhart creating the TWA and a bunch of asshats sliding into shit head first, thinking that they're going to make money off the golden goose, and then they can't produce what they thought they could. I think they took too many bumps to the head and took too many hits of a lot of other things. You know, we won't get into that, but yeah.
All right, let's get back to the comments. We got Magic Mike Ferrara joins the show. He says, "What's up,
What's
guys?
happening, Magic Mike?
I loved Raw." He also says, "Penta is your next IC champ, probably at WrestleMania," and I kind of agree.
Yeah, yeah. Well, for the money they are giving him, Mike, and you know, Mike, when they give someone a push like that, they have to give them the title. They have to promote them. It would be a loss if they didn't.
Gianni says, "It brought me to tears too, Johnny, because I'm so happy for you guys, because you definitely deserve it. Please believe it."
Yeah, I do. I do, but you know the ego in Johnny HotBody would be flipping out and saying everything that everyone would expect Johnny to say. But listen, man, I buried Johnny HotBody and that ego a long time ago. What you get now is me real. I am humbled by it. I appreciate it more than words could possibly, you know. But thank you.
Nick Infante joins the show. What's up, Nick? He says, "Hi, folks."
Hello, Nick.
He said it felt weird watching Raw on a Monday afternoon.
It did. It really did. I thought it was a Saturday afternoon show.
All right. So next up, we had the Creed brothers taking on the LWO, and it was a nice, pleasant surprise when they were talking about the masked luchador that's been showing up the last 2 weeks now with the American-made mask, and they mentioned our old friend, Mr. Tom Brandy.
You know what? That part must have slipped by me, but I was lots of times I try to tune out of what they're saying and watch the match and see what I see. Um, and that's cool for Tom Brandy. I love Tom Brandy, man. I remember him fondly. Him, Mike Kalua. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was a good dude, man. Really. The Cecile, what did he do? This Cecile, he was Mr.
Oh, Sal Sincere.
Cecile, Al Cecile, yeah, man. He's a pretty cool dude, man. He used to come up the Monster Factory too. But let me tell you something. As far as what is his name, Ray Ray and
Mm-hmm.
the Dragon.
Yeah,
I told you, man. That's a tag team.
This was a very nice match.
I think he is 50 million times better than Penta. This is my opinion.
I was saying the exact thing to myself watching it.
Mike, was that Magic Mike?
Yeah.
He just said that Penta would probably get the Intercontinental title, which I have to agree with. They like I said, they have to give him something. But in all reality, Dragon, wow, what a worker, man.
Yeah.
What a worker.
And even like watching Rey Mysterio at, he's pushing 50 or maybe even in his early 50s now. I'm saying to myself,
how does he do it?
Yeah. Just that every move, everything, it just watching him and then watching Penta, it's like day and night. There's just two different qualities of a worker there.
Do you think they were under the belief that Penta was as good as Dragon or better than Ray Ray?
I would not be surprised.
Listen, I'm going to say something that might, from what I understand, it's not something that I am credible to witness. Okay, but AWA had him. and his
AEW.
what is it? AEW. I'm sorry. And Tony, people were saying negative things on Tony Khan because he wouldn't put them on TV, just like he wouldn't put that other guy, Ricky Starks or whatever his name is. They let him go out of his contract too.
Yeah.
Sometimes these guys just don't have it. They're on the independent circuit. They get swooped up real quick. Um, okay, they're hot right now. Let's grab them. They might turn into something. You get 6 weeks of TV, right? They give you 6 weeks worth of a head start to
Mm-hmm.
see if they could build you on TV to run a program with you. This is a little behind the scene promo TV stuff that most people don't even know. Okay. But yeah, they write everything in advance and they give each guy 6 week run, whatever they could do, they do. If the guy's hot, he's hot. If not, he's mopping floors or whatever. But yeah, I forget where I was going with that.
Well,
yeah, 6 weeks worth of time you get.
we saw this week again the masked man, the mysterious masked man with the American-made mask, come in, and everybody's saying, "Oh, it's Chad Gable, Chad Gable, Chad Gable," but word on the street is it's actually Penta's tag team partner from AEW. What's his name? Ray was it Phoenix or
Ray Phoenix?
Yeah, Phoenix.
Yeah, he's supposed to be in SmackDown. That he was supposed to go to the Blue Brand. Now I don't even know who he is, but I did hear he's supposed to go to the Blue Brand. Well, so is Black, Aleister Black.
Yes.
I think Aleister Black being let go was a bad move. Yeah, him going there. Listen, man, AEW's a joke.
Excuse me.
You're yawning. No wine.
No wine. I had one glass earlier. That was it. That's all I had today. Told you I'm trying to cut down.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we had next up a Seth Rollins in-ring promo, and he came out talking Punk, talking Roman Reigns, and he let the crowd sing him out, and away he went.
Listen, I think Seth Rollins' ability to work is most incredible. Okay, but here's the thing. Who the hell is dressing this clown?
Horrible.
What's he trying to do here? I know he's going into Becky's closet and he's wearing her clothes. And if it's not Becky's clothes, he's definitely wearing his little sister's.
Yeah, that outfit tonight, I was a little with the pants. I don't get it, and I don't know.
I think he buys his clothes at a 5 and Dime store.
The old 5 and Dime. Remember the 5 and Dime when we were kids?
Yeah. What is it now? $1.25.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
All right. So next up, we had another quick promo. AJ Styles getting ready to start talking about Logan Paul. Gets interfered with from Karrion Kross. And are we going to see AJ turn heel here?
I think you're going to see AJ against Kross.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, because let me tell you something. This kid, they have high expectations on him, and keeping him off TV and getting him to learn to craft better is what I believe they were doing with him, because you just don't keep someone like him employed and keep him in the background if you do not have big plans for him.
I mean, you're probably dead on, because isn't it kind of interesting how they had him as part of this whole group, even with Precious Paul Ellering, and all one by one they got rid of everybody but him.
I like the fact that they're keeping him. I don't know what he's capable of doing, but he's got a beautiful girl on his side, and if they don't use that for ratings, it's somebody in writing is missing the boat.
Missing the. All right, Gianni says, "Am I the only one tired of the Penta hand signs?"
I told you that's a phone number over the prison wall that he's doing.
DJ Plays Favorites is in the house. What's up, DJ? He says hello all, or she says, whoever they
Hello.
are. They said hello all. Let's see. Michelle says, Bay, look for the match Penta had against Chelsea Green. It was really good. I can't believe she took his finisher. Was that in Lucha Underground? Did you ever watch that, John? Lucha Underground?
Yeah, for a brief minute, but watching Chelsea Green do anything is worth looking into.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like her. She's got ability, man. She's
She
definitely
does.
got ability,
And she's got balls to do whatever.
and I love Piper Niven.
You keep saying that.
Huh?
You keep saying it.
Listen, I know when. Listen, I see talent. I know what talent is.
I
know
haven't really
what.
seen her work yet.
Excuse me.
I haven't really seen her work yet.
Well, listen, you should look into her working it. They had some kind of championship thing with all the girls competing, and Monet, that dirtbag, I don't know, Monet, whatever her, she wound up winning. But Piper could work, man. She could work. You would not even believe it. She works gracefully too.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I got to look into that.
And that finisher that this pet is using, I seen one of the girls using that also.
Yeah.
And a lot of the moves that these girls are using, I see the guys using. Like everybody's impressed with what's his name, the werewolf, the Samoan werewolf. Everyone's impressed because he does Tiffy's move.
Yeah.
That pop-up suplex, the jump up wall. Yeah, Tiffy did that first.
Yeah. You're right. We are. I say that to myself. I'm like, we're seeing a lot of duplicate moves from people.
Yeah, and it's funny. You see the girls kick out of the guys' finishers.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that tell you? Who's watching what's going on? You never want to see moves repeated. How many clotheslines could we say?
Super kicks. How many?
Super kick. They're sickening. When Chris Adams I don't know if you remember, gentlemen, Chris Adams using that. It was the worst move back then. And when Shawn Michaels did it, it was even bad. It was even bad when he did it. I don't get it. I don't get it, man. Now when Kabuki would do that kick, it looked real.
I'm going to disagree with you about the Shawn Michaels one.
What?
I thought he had the best super kick.
You do?
Yeah.
What are you smoking?
Nothing.
What did you do? Get his boots and smell them and get high or something? Are you out of your mind?
I might be.
That's like this. Come on, that's like Hulk Hogan and his leg drop and versus Brody doing the leg drop. Who would you believe is more believable with the leg drop?
Come on, without a doubt, the one and only Bruiser Brody.
That's right. But anyway,
all right. DJ says now Mr. Black can be back with his wife. Who's his wife?
I don't even know. His wife?
AEW is the WCW of 2000. Horrible, Gianni says. And DJ strongly agrees. I think everybody does. AEW is a retro WCW or late NWA in the late 80s. Gianni says he's wearing his wife's clothes. She picked them out for him. Seth
Becky,
raided
yeah.
Becky's closet every week. Laugh out loud, says Michelle. DJ says, never thought I would see Seth as a cross-dresser. And DJ is a guy, a.k.a. a male.
Okay.
Mr. DJ is fine. Look. Piper can go. I agree, John, says Gianni. Michelle says, I think they're impressed with Jacob Fatu because he's 280 pounds.
What's Michelle? Listen. He's not the only 280 pounder that could jump up on the rope. But Braun Breaker does it too, and he does a Frankensteiner. But what? Braun Breaker's.
If you put to me between Breaker and Jacob Fatu, I'm going Jacob Fatu because Jacob Fatu to me has more it than Breaker. Breaker, I feel, is way too early in his career to be getting what he's getting.
I totally agree that Jacob Fatu is a great worker, but for some reason I don't believe that they're going to do anything with him.
With Jacob?
That's right.
I think you should expect a face turn from him very soon. And a major
listen, let me ask you something seriously. Whether the crowd boos you or cheers you doesn't really make a difference. It's obvious that they cheer him right now. Do they really need to turn him a face? Oh, what's he going to do? Cut a bad promo?
Well, yeah, they need to turn him face so then they can make more money off him with their T-shirt sales.
I would like to see. I would like to see a lot more other guys get a chance than this push of this whole family down your throat. They take up too much of the roster. They take too much of the TV. My opinion, man.
Hey, you know what? I mean,
see, what are you afraid of to say?
No. It's not that I'm afraid. Not that I'm afraid to say. What I'm trying to say is, I'm kind of okay with how they're doing it right now. With with the Usos being in singles. I really think Solo is going to become a complete afterthought. The other one, Tangaloa, nobody really cares. And I think Jacob is going to end up getting this huge push where you're going to see he's going to end up as either the IC or US champion.
Okay. Tangaloa and his brother that magically disappeared.
Yeah, where's he at?
Exactly. That's what I think will happen to Jacob. Seriously, I want Bronson Reed to come back. That's who I would like to see come back, Bronson Reed. I'm just listen, man. I get the TV time needs to be filled, but I'm sick and tired of low card matches on TV. Netflix is a joke. Commercials are on every
oh my lord, the commercials tonight were the absolute worst.
It's unreal. They're losing. Here's my belief, man. It's like radio. At one time, you would get 45 minutes, maybe 50 minutes of music in radio, and an hour and 10 minutes of commercial. And the more people stop listening to radio, the more commercials were given airtime to the point of you're lucky if you get 22 minutes out of an hour of music on the radio. I know, John, what does this have to do with what's going on in wrestling? Listen, it's a fact of everyday life. They're selling you something with commercials because they don't have the ratings that they were looking for. So, because the homes, I heard the number was 2 million homes, and Netflix are getting $8 or whatever they're getting for to view wrestling. And in my opinion, this is just my opinion. The garbage that is on Netflix isn't even worth the $9 a month that they're charging you. I cannot believe that people pay for this garbage. I mean it. And if it wasn't for me being able to do this, give my opinions on the matches every week, I would not pay the $8. And I know it's $2 a week to watch wrestling. But listen, man, too many commercials. They're not giving you a product that's worth anything. You would expect if you're paying for something that you would get great matches every match.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to sit through 50 million commercials on penis dysfunction, vaginas that stink, and psychological. You need medicine because you're having a heart attack and your nerves are shot. Hey, guess what? I'll call my psychiatrist too.
Well, after the main event match, you might need to, because it was, in my opinion, the absolute shits. We had Braun Breaker, who on his way to the ring just happened to run into the one and only Penta. Little stare down, and off he went. And also, too, I wanted to mention this. Where the hell was everybody coming from? Out of the fucking subway? What was that? Everything was like they were in a basement in the middle of North Philly or something that was all graffiti and everything. I'm like, what is going on here? Is this part of the arena?
No, I'll tell you what it is. It's the dilapidation of the world. Society has fallen apart. Everything is in ruins. Money is being pocketed by pirates and thieves every single day, and they call you their government. Whether the establishment is the bozos that you elected or not, whether you like them or not, you were stupid enough to elect an idiot to govern you in the first place. I vote for no one because I'm a free man and no man rules over me. That's always been my thought process. But anyway, when you see a town that may have been one time the most beautiful place to travel, where tourists would want to go to, what you get is Kensington.
Mm.
You get a bunch of people that destroy everything. They throw trash on the streets. They shit and piss on every single corner, and they sell drugs freely all over the place. This is what everyone wanted in the world, and that's the reason why you're coming out of the basement. And what do you think it's going to be like anywhere you go in this world? You know, where the tourists are, they always show you, oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. But listen, you go 3 blocks to the east, you go three
Mm.
blocks to the west, you need the military to frickin' protect you. So let's, you're asking a silly question there, my brother.
Well,
Here's a little piece of news that'll blow your mind. Where we're wrestling at 3 weeks ago, someone sitting right under the I-95 that goes over the top of the arena got shot and killed right there. See, this is what the world has come to. You think you're safe. Check this out. Everything was on camera, surveillance city. But yet, you know what? The Philadelphia police is great of a job that they're doing, getting Kensington Avenue all cleaned up. Check this out, man. Dude gets murdered and they can't solve it. They got film right there.
yeah.
But anyway, next.
Happens all the time, sadly.
Yes.
All right, so Braun Breaker takes on Finn Balor in the main event for the IC belt. I was very, very disappointed in this match. I was hoping Finn would have been able to carry Breaker a lot better. Um, it I think exposed Breaker a lot tonight. Um, his punches look weak as hell. They're exactly like his father's, but his father's were complete potatoes. His are not.
Check
Um,
check this out. It's going to be like Tony beating on uh,
Tartaglia.
Mike Bruno or whatever he calls himself. I hope Tony hits him with a bunch of potatoes. How about that?
It's
Like
gonna
the
be
way I
Potato City.
segue, like the way I put that in there.
That's gonna be
Listen,
Potato
man,
City.
I told you this, and you might find it hard. I found myself saying I wish Finn Balor would win this match because, quite seriously, the title does not belong. I understand Big Papa Pump was a badass once he started taking the juice. I remember his career prior to him getting, you know, the size that he
Mhm.
got, and you know, his brother Rick was great, man. UWF, man, what a worker, man. And that's Braun's dad, right, Rick?
Rick is, yes.
Let me tell you something. You would expect a lot better from him. Just on that, I didn't realize which one was, you know, who's the father of the kid. Seriously, I'm not saying anything,
But
but
it's
I think you said Rick Steiner. I think Rick Steiner was great, man.
I do too.
When
I'm
he
a
was with
huge
the
Rick Steiner
varsity
fan.
club, when he was with the varsity club, and
Hmm.
come on, Kevin Sullivan,
How
Mike
about when he was part of
Fernando.
Hot Stuff International with Sting
Oh yeah, man.
in the
Yeah, yeah.
UWF? Yeah,
Eddie Gilbert, Missy Hyatt,
yeah.
Jack. Was it Jack Victory? I
Jack
think
Victory.
Jack
Yeah.
Victory. Listen, man, Johnny. I knew wrestling, man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just because I don't get along with someone personally doesn't mean I won't give the man credit where it's due. You understand that, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, man.
So, yeah, the match very disappointed, and then we had Dom and Carlito come out, interfere, which then caused Breaker to end up winning the match, and they attacked Breaker afterwards, and Penta came out and made the save.
I think Dom and Finn Balor are going to be WrestleMania
Agreed.
bound against each other, and it'll probably be the loudest pop of the night when Dirty Dom wins. Now, there's a match I definitely believe would be an awesome, awesome match. I don't think Finn Balor would have to carry Dom. Dom's Dom's ability to work would make this one of the, like I said, probably definitely one of the best matches on the card. Let's hope that it goes that way.
So
You know,
what do you what's are they going to what do you think they're going to do there? Are they going to implode Judgment Day? Is Dom going to turn face with Liv and Raquel and Finn, JD, and Carlito go their own way? It's just going to be the three. Are they going to still be Judgment Day? Is it just going to be Finn going singles? I mean, I wonder what kind of direction they're thinking.
you know, truthfully, you're you're finding yourself so invested in what they're going to do. It's captivating, it's entertaining, it's drawing time, which is well deserved. I think it's you see the way they were giving all that time to the bloodline.
Hmm.
I definitely think that this is a nice way to get rid of the bloodline and introduce something new. They have something they could go with here. They definitely have JD coming back. As far as Penta goes, I don't see Penta joining with them.
No.
Not unless Dom. Here's what may happen. Just a thought. What if Dom and his dad make up? And Dom, Liv, Raquel, Ray, and Dragon. How's that for a little something? A new form of yeah.
Or, I don't know if people remember or if they'll even touch back on this, but a few months back when Liv dropped the belt back to Rhea, Dom tried getting back with Rhea at the end of the match.
That was a swerve. That was just a swerve. That will not go anywhere. That would it would have worked great for someone's career if Rhea would have stayed attached to I can't even think of his name. That's how relevant.
Priest.
Damian Priest. Yeah, how
relevant. He needs to be with her.
Yeah, because seriously, he's disappeared real quick off the face of the map, hasn't he? He went from a real good push to a push right out the front door.
They keep trying to put him in those main event positions, but it's not working.
No, it's listen. He fills this space for what they're trying to, the demographic they're looking to appease.
Yeah.
Is that saying something? Is that saying something?
Totally makes sense.
Total sense to you. Yeah. This is why you get these fractions of or factions of groups here. They do it all the time. How about this, man? I'd like to thought. Here's something: the tag team belts given to Montez Ford and what's his partner's name? I can't remember his name, but they just won the titles from the Snorfest. Johnny Gargano and what's his face? Tommaso.
Oh yeah. That section of the tag team division is bad.
You see, this is what I'm saying. You would think they would get rid of the division and make the talents all work together. They're all part of the same circus. Make titles that are worth something. Have them defended every week on TV. Give some, like I was saying, you need a main event. What if you build up the tag team division so frigging good that you have main events every week with the tag teams? The NWA. When the NWA was being booked, those were some of the greatest bookings that were ever done in history.
Rock and Roll Express, Midnight Express, the Road Warriors, the Horsemen.
Yeah, this is what's missing from the WWE right now. I believe it's by choice, though. I don't like the direction they took with the breaking the kayfabe. They have these press conferences after everything. They expose the whole business. It's a joke. It's a total joke. And then the new show where you have, how does Michelle McCool get a job and they fire Mickey James and Michelle McCool's
how
you listen if people don't see the problem with what's going on, man, It's dead wrong. It is so dead wrong. I don't like it.
How I how can I word this right?
Just say it, brother, from the heart.
How the fuck can the Undertaker do what he did after he has supposed to be the head of the locker room, the person everybody's looked up to, everybody goes to for advice and all this, and he's supposed to be, you know, in my eyes, like a middle of the road guy, a straight guy like that. You know what I mean? Like somebody you can trust
He's a corporate ass sucker.
to being a person to
Listen, he's a corporate ass sucker. It shows. It shows what he did.
that move totally. I mean, how could you ever look at Mickey James in the face, or even her husband, who is, a full time employee of this company? I mean, it's just a dick move. I'm sorry, but it is.
Yeah, and you want to know something? How do you perform without an attitude? When shit like that happens,
Yeah,
how do you perform without an attitude?
look, in the wrestling business, God, that situation has probably happened thousands of times. But I can honestly say I never would have expected that from Undertaker.
Well, let me ask you something, man. Why do you look at these people as if they don't have scumbag moves? Listen, there's a group of guys that have a job that really don't deserve it. There's always been that way. It's always been that way. If you weren't part of the clique, if you come on, man. I don't do I come out and totally destroy the illusion and sound like a bitter guy? Is that what you would like me to do?
Hell no.
Okay, because it's easy to do, and a lot of people out there are so infatuated and believe the bullshit and the hype that they would never ever believe the truth.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of people that do not deserve the jobs that they have in the WWE.
Well, that's also everywhere.
Oh yeah, $15,000 a seat. Come on, man.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Gianni says, where was Liv Morgan tonight? We did see her and Raquel in the quick promo. But I saw a picture, I think it was yesterday afternoon, of her after her match at a house show with Rhea Ripley, and she was laying on the floor in the locker room, and her whole side, it was like she got whipped with something. She got the shit beat out of her. She didn't really putting her body on the line. I don't know if you've seen the pictures of her after Elimination Chamber. She had black and blue marks up and down her arms and legs.
So did a lot of guys that wrestled in ECW. Come on, man. Stop crying. Wah. You want to
Hey,
be a wrestler? Wah.
I'm not crying.
Listen,
I'm just
wah.
putting her over.
No,
Busted her ass.
like she's. Listen, what are you going to give her? What we're going to give her credit because she works hard. She's making a few $1,000,000 a year. She better work hard.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not giving. Listen, I am not giving any of these people, these performers, these so-called athletes, whatever you want to call them. I'm not going to give. I don't. My heart ain't going to break for them, man. I'm telling you the truth.
Mm.
They're lucky to have a job. Don't worry about the black and blues. It's part of the business.
That's it.
Yeah. Thank God you aren't working with the freaking Road Warriors where they're coming off the top rope with that clothesline, spinning you into a 360, landing face first planet, and then they come and then Hawk comes off the ropes and drops an elbow on the back of your fucking neck while you're laying there. Yeah. Okay. Or you work the Steiners. Those two dudes were so stiff. Oh Lord.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you had a commenter that was watching. He was he worked in the NWA. He usually watches the show from YouTube. You know who he is. You speak to him. I forget the guy's name. He worked. He said he was a jobber for the NWA.
Oh, Bob Cook. Bob Cook.
Yeah, you talk to Bob Cook. I know. Bob might think I messed around and I might have hurt his feelings. I don't know. But check this out, man. You should ask him about the guys in the NWA that used to take liberties on the jobbers on a Saturday.
Mm.
You know, I know that he said something like Buzz Sawyer was an asshole because he took liberties. He's not the only guy that would do that. And,
No, exactly.
It was part of the business, man. You know, I give him a lot of credit for being able to work in the NWA.
And he did it for many years. Many years.
Yeah. And you want to know something? It's a guy like that gets overlooked that made other guys shine. You know, it's guys like that deserve the credit.
It's true. So, all right. Well, another night in the books, another Monday, another Breaking Raw, another long list of comments, and another rousing edition from Mr. HotBody.
Well, thank you. I have fun doing this. I just hope everyone is entertained by what we do.
There you go.
Yep. Eventually, we'll be hitting the millions.
I hope so.
Of viewers, of course.
I hope so. All right. On that note, everybody, thank you so much. Don't forget, May 3rd, WrestleCon One and Done. Tickets are available, 2300arena.com. We will be raising a banner. We'll be dropping a banner. There will be a banner. And we're going to have a lot of fun that day. Get ready for it. Get your tickets. And make sure you stop by and see Johnny, myself, and everybody else in attendance. And we'll be back next Monday.
Hey, you better get on the ball too. Stop being late.
You're right. I was late tonight.
Listen, I know the truth. You were doing dishes, and that's why you were late getting on the air tonight. And that's okay. It's all right. You could do the dishes for Coco. It's the least you could do.
That's the believe me, the least. And actually, she just did them while we were doing the show. So I definitely have to do them tomorrow now. So there you go. On that note, thank you, everybody. Have an amazing night. And until next time, we will see you.
Thank you very much.